Welcome back, everyone, to Lisa's Love and Light. How's everyone doing today? Hope you all are doing well. So, here we are again today. Guys, I got to get some new reading glasses, which it seems like, silly stuff happens. Anyway, but I will probably have a new pair tomorrow. Um, anyway, I'm here today. It's Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. And, you know, it's interesting because as I continue to heal and do the work and go through what I need to go through, um, I can laugh a bit. I can laugh at myself when the silly stuff like this happen. I just, don't take things as serious as I used to. When something like this would happen, I would just be embarrassed or cry. But life happens and things happen. So sometimes we just need to laugh at certain things that happen and just keep it moving. But I am here as I stated that I would be. And today is Monday. It's a really miserable day outside, raining really hard, etc. Just trying to get through the day. Not as busy as last week, thank God, because it was extremely a busy week, and that's why I couldn't show up on Friday, and I did show up Saturday. So if it happens to be that I don't come on for any particular reason, then I will do an extra day or so. So enough about that. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is being safe out there if you're driving, because it's really not a good day for it. But we all have to do what we have to do. So let's jump into this topic of discussion. And the title is Stay True to Yourself and Keep Healing. One of the things that I really enjoy about the healing process is music. Music is so therapeutic. If you have a playlist of your favorite music and it just go from one song to another and another, it really helps you on this healing journey. I like music from the 70s and 80s. And before I jumped on, I just had a playlist of song after song. And it really helps to lift up my spirits and my mood, especially on a day like today. So if you are feeling down, depressed, or, just not yourself, just throw on a playlist of your favorite music and listen to it. And listen to that for a little bit, and it will help to elevate your mood. Do things that make you feel better. And when I say do things that you enjoy, puzzles, spending time with your pet, taking a bubble bath with some candles and some music. Do things to nurture and pamper your soul. That also helps because it pampers your inner child and the traumas and things that life, you know, brings to us sometimes. It's so important. It's like almost 3.5 years later for me that I've been on this healing journey. And it's been a ride, a hell of a ride. But, I haven't given up and I'm true to the course. And it hasn't been easy, but it's worth it. I promise you all, as you continue to persevere through the grief and the pain and trauma and everything associated with that, and you continue to stay the course, you will start to feel better. It doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. And then you will know when it's working because as you take these steps and you continue to persevere, you start to feel better. And not only do you start to feel better, you are like if you felt insecure before, or if you were like you wasn't sure of who you are, or you just felt like you didn't belong, or whatever those insecurities are, you start to feel better because what happens as you stay on this course, you start to love yourself. We all are supposed to do that. It doesn't matter what anyone else is telling you. We are supposed to do that because as you love yourself, you're not going to allow any and everything in your circle, your inner circle, and your space, especially toxicity. And it took me a long time to learn that. And you start to feel secure within. Sometimes your world might feel overwhelmed due to the grief and depression, especially if you recently lost a loved one or you're going through some kind of trauma. Because even though I talk about other topics, but all of it is related to grief. Losing a loved one is really traumatic. And just things dealing with toxicity and toxic situations and individuals also add to that grief. We have to heal those things as well. And it's not easy, but being persistent and persevering through all the pain and the hurt and etc. is necessary in order to get from A to B. It might feel like, you know, um, besides the feeling of being overwhelmed, that you can try to talk to some other people about your feelings and what's going on. And it may feel like they don't understand who you are. One of the things for me was that I had to get through is feeling misunderstood. I used to talk about a lot of things and what happened and etc. But if you're talking, you have oranges and apples, they don't understand. If someone, what that means is that if someone hasn't walked in your shoes and they don't know about how bad grief can be due to specific situations, especially the loss of a loved one, then they can't relate. And sometimes that may feel more to you that you're how do I say this, that you are being you might feel misunderstood is what I'm trying to say here. And for me, feeling overwhelmed and lonely, not lonely, but alone was something that I felt and I had to get through. You know, my self esteem, in the beginning of this whole process, because it's always an ongoing process, but in the beginning, my self esteem was in a gutter. I was letting any and everything happen and letting stuff slide, letting people do whatever and whenever, because my self esteem wasn't where it should be. I had to work on things. I'm still working on things, but a lot better. It took therapy, prayer, and hitting rock bottom, being there by myself, seeing who was really in my corner and who was not, really helped me to understand that I needed to heal and I needed to do the work because I didn't want to do it, you know. And it took like a mirror, looking in a mirror and looking at all the broken pieces and, putting them back together. I had to, out of all this process, I have some notes here, is to love myself. I had to learn that. It wasn't easy. And to know, not just to love myself, but to know that I'm worth it. And just for the people out there who I'm talking to today, know you are worth it. Love yourself, and don't, and it's important not to allow a lot of toxicity in your environment and in your space, especially when you're on this journey to healing. That's so important. Here's the good news. 3 years later, um, going into 4 years, but 3 years later, after doing the work, I'm still doing the work and still persevering. Um, and after allowing myself to feel all the pain, the different types of pain that's associated with grief and loss and trauma, I have healed a lot of areas in my life where I felt broken or broken down, And today I am no longer the same Lisa that I used to be. And some people don't know how to deal with that. I've cut off a whole lot of individuals, like I said, due to toxicity, and I'm not allowing it back in my life. You know, my friend that I recently reconnected with, I think in a few of the other videos, She's probably on, so I'm saying hi to you without. I'm not gonna call out your name, I promise. But I'm saying hi because she's probably on here or she will be. But I've known her since I was 14 years old, and it feels good to reconnect with her. And we've been talking and catching up and all of that. And recently she said to me, "You are so different than Elisa I used to know growing up." And I said to her, the healing process has helped me so much, And as I continue to persevere and bite through all the obstacles, I'm feeling better, I'm doing better. One of the things that help a lot too is the process of cutting individuals out of my life who are extremely toxic, and I had a very difficult time doing that. And it was so necessary to do because it was creating more problems for me, like trauma, and just, I was just allowing things to happen because my self esteem, like I said, was so low, and I didn't think, I just let it happen. And as I did the work, people, as I started, my therapist would give me homework of doing, like I said in other videos, pros and the cons of situations. He would never tell me to block, cut off, or delete. He just put a mirror to my face and let me see things as they were and not my perception of it. That's the best way I can say that here. And as I started to see that, I realize I want peace. I don't want this toxic situation. And as I start to cut off situations and people and etc., one of the things that was difficult, that some people were still trying to hold on to dear life. And that was difficult. But as I grew stronger and as I start to persevere through all this stuff, I'm very firm. I don't have, like I said, I don't have to act out of character and do those things. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to handle things a different way. So when people try to hang on and to something that no longer exists, then I will take the necessary measures to make sure that they're cut off. Because when someone doesn't want you a part of their life, it's like having a lot of narcissistic individuals in my energy. Because, when someone doesn't no longer want you in their life and they're telling you why and etc., it's like, and you're trying to hang on, that these individuals like that, I say, need to heal. Because if someone doesn't want me in their life and they tell me that, I'm not going to try to hold on and run behind them and things of that nature. For me, one of the reasons why I cut off and block, delete, um, because especially, after I have tried to address situations with individuals, and I would, I go above and beyond trying to address situations and say, look, this is making me feel this way. I wasn't able to do that years ago, but as I do the work with therapy, as I, go through this, I do that and I say, listen, this makes me feel uncomfortable, or this way it feels toxic, or etc. And if it continues to happen over and over again, then it comes to the point where I feel disrespected. And that's the worst thing for me, because I'm going to cut you off, because we're not children, we're adults. And, after having two, three conversations, it shouldn't be four, five, six, and seven, and eight. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut off, block, and delete, because my healing and growth and expansion means everything. And like I said, I do a lot of meditation, listen to a lot of meditation tapes. I'm in prayer a lot with God. That's foremost for me. I'm not religious, but I do have a close relationship with God. That's important to me. And I've healed a lot of areas that felt so broken in my life. And and as I talk to my friend and catch up and things, and she see that, because there are things that I can address today that I couldn't address before because I was too afraid to. But I'm sharing these things with everyone here because there's people who might listen to this video who feel like that, broken and disconnected, deep in depression and grief and anxiety and pain. And they may think that there's no hope. They're just in despair, and there is hope. You can do the work. Like I said, you have to crawl before you walk. A baby doesn't just get up and start walking. One day at a time, one step at a time. No one just gets on a bike and start riding if they've never rode a bike before. It takes time. You get on a few times, you may fall down, but you get up, you get on again. The same thing with a baby walking. They take us two steps, fall down, get up, walk again, and keep doing it. And one day they walk perfectly, the same as someone riding a bike. So don't give up on yourself. Never. That's one of the things that a person should never give up on is themselves. Know that you're worth it. And you know, surround yourself with beauty, nature, things that are positive and that is going to uplift you and not things that's going to make you feel broken. And I had to learn this and I'm still learning it. And to say what you mean, because some people are feeling something and they don't say what they mean or they make excuse for toxic behavior and things like that. And I had to learn that. I'm still learning certain things as well, but the good news is I feel better. I would never think that I would be on a YouTube channel sharing with other people and doing this. But it's important that people know that there's hope instead of just being in despair and feeling broken down and that there's no hope. There's hope. There's always a way to heal yourself. And I'm not a certified therapist or a social worker. I don't have a degree in that department. However, I'm someone who's going through a lot of grief and had a lot of toxic individuals in my life that was causing more grief as I, went through the loss of my mother, dog, one of my good friends, 10 people during the shutdown. And when people say, oh, it's just 3 years ago, get over it, you don't get over that, especially a parent, and people who were a part of your life for so long. And I just disconnect from that and I keep my environment positive. It's so important, you know, and those things will help. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but give it one day at a time and keep doing it. Even if you get one thing accomplished, then be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back, And as you start to do the work, you'll start to do better. You start to do more, you know, little by little. Everyone doesn't grow at the same pace. We all are different. But the important thing is to continue to move forward and persevere through all the difficulties. And also, I always say on this channel that it's important to connect with a therapist, a grief therapist, because they're going to help you too. And perhaps some of them that you vibe with will help you to look at a mirror, help you to put a mirror to your face and look in a mirror and and to love yourself, know that you're important, little by little, and do things that uplift you. And it's important, to just be at peace, you know and eventually you'll get there one day at a time. I'm still doing work. Some days I feel really good, and then there's days where I just don't feel like being bothered. But I persevere through those days. Those are the days that I listen to more of a playlist just to change my mood so I can get through the day. If you need to do that as well. It's so important, and then when you connect with the therapist, you can also find out about grief bereavement groups, because there are going to be other people like yourself who've gone through grief, who talk about some effective ways that they have helped themselves to get through it, and there might be information there that you can use to help yourself. It's really important that we all connect and help one another. I've learned, not just through prayer, but turning pain into power, power into purpose, and purpose into paying it forward to help other people who need to hear the message, who need help, so that people don't fall into a deep depression or have suicidal thoughts, because there is help out here. So please never lose hope and share this video with other people. Subscribe to the channel and share and continue to do so, because someone somewhere, a few people need to hear this message, you know. And it's important for me to be at peace and not to feel broken and be in pieces. Peace is better. So thank you guys for being here today. That's the message. Share with other people. And I'll be back again tomorrow with a new message to continue to uplift you, as well as myself here on this channel. Thank you all for your support and for being here. Before I leave today, I want to address something I almost forgot. Someone sent a comment to what they were doing is promoting their products and services on my site. That's not okay. I'm going to address that. I deleted your comment, because you were promoting your product and services here. If it happens again, you will be blocked from making any comments here, because that is not what this channel is for. It is for healing and helping people to heal and to address issues related to that, and despair and pain and etc. Not for you to promote your products. So if I see something like that again, you will be reported and blocked. So please don't do that again. And so I'm addressing it, but I'm not going to address it again. I'm just going to block you. Okay? So that's the message today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And be safe out there today. Bye for now.